Welcome, everybody. Let's take a look at the market. The marketplace. We'll look at the weekly, the daily. We'll look at the intraday charts. Going to show you the hourly chart today. Well, I'm not going to do that exactly. I'll kind of show it. We'll get into that. I'm going to show you something that one of the members posted today. I think you're really going to like this. And just a way of showing how the membership speaks for itself. Okay, you got members responding to the service, and you'll see some of that today. Let's get into this. Here's the weekly chart. As I said, I think a few days ago, the madness continues. And we're just going to continue to make money on a bullish market, of course. But it is madness. Lots of madness there. Support there, 51.69. I don't think it really has changed. I'll keep that right there, obviously, for now. And, so far this week today, I think it's Tuesday, if I remember right. Let me check the old phony phone. Yep, Tuesday, March 26th. So a lot of the week left to go still here. Lots of divergence showing up here. Just massive divergence here. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've seen this many red dots in a row. It's just crazy. Crazy. Yesterday, the MACD on the weekly, I think it was 206.9. Today it's 206.3, we'll call it here. So still crazy high. Absolutely nuts. And let's see, March 31st. Well, like I said yesterday, we may not see anything here. We just may not see anything on this cycle. It just may not happen. Right? We're just kind of blown through. We're just blown through all kinds of cycles and, just going up to the moon. So we'll keep an eye on this for June 16th. I'll continue to watch to see if anything happens March 31st here. But that's only 6 calendar days away. And the way things look right now, I don't see much of any kind of cycle low here. We might just get like a little red blurb, a little blip, and that's it. See how we just got this like little red candlestick here for this like cycle low. That's all that showed up. Like 1 week of red, and the rest was just, green pastures and meadows. Okay. So not much has changed on here as far as the weekly chart goes. Last week was all-time high. This week, somehow we've managed not to hit all-time high again yet this week, but the week is still young. Give it a few days. And this insanity will continue. All right, let's switch over to, let me switch over to, I'm going to show you something. Let's switch to something. I think you're all going to really like this. Okay, so here we are, just me. I just took a screenshot of something of a conversation that happened a little bit earlier today with a member, one of the members that uses my service, okay? And I didn't really ask this member if it was okay to put them in the video, so I kind of just blurted out their little icon here, and I don't want, whatever. It's better if I just don't show their name because some people don't want their stuff made public, right? Anyway, this is a conversation that happened, okay? Now, this screenshot right here, which may be kind of hard to see in this video, but this is a screenshot of my hourly chart that I streamed live to the members, and he took a screenshot of it too. So this is a screenshot of a screenshot, but it doesn't really matter. And he posted this on the Discord server. So this conversation is happening on the Discord server, which is where all the services take place for my members. And I wanted to show this because this is a perfect example of what the members are getting access to. And this gentleman says here, look at the beautiful cycle, bottom/drop, right on schedule, Giddis. So obviously they're talking to me, right? I'm Giddis. And he goes on to say the best forecaster, period. Now, those are not my words. That's a member telling me that. Now, I try to keep things humble on my side. Of course, I'm super grateful that this member's happy. And yes, it's nice to hear these kind of things from members. and it makes me feel proud that the service is helping people out. Let's continue on and see what he says here. Made out like a champ on this trade, and I gave him a little thumbs up here. Now we're going to look at the hourly chart here in a minute and we'll blow this up so y'all can see it, but this is what he's talking about, this big drop right here. Okay, and he put these red arrows in there in a checkbox and all this stuff, okay? And we'll talk about this. See, he put a checkbox, a little arrow here by the Get Us Plus indicator way up here. It's a little purple candlestick, and like I said, we'll show that here in a minute. And then he's putting an arrow here where he shows a cycle low. He puts a check mark saying this all worked out great, basically. And I replied and said, yep, that's a beautiful cycle low. And he went on to say, that chart needs to hang in a museum, Magnifico. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I kind of have a feel for this particular member. We've chatted a few times, a little bit. And, I don't know these members' account sizes or anything like that, which is none of my business. But, the sense I get with this member is that they are the type of person that calculates pretty well and is careful about trading. And I know in the past that this member's made a lot of money. And I think this member probably made a lot of money on this trade too as well. Now, this member could have traded puts, maybe, some type of option strategy, or might have just shorted futures, which is what I do. There's a lot of different ways that he could have profited off this trade, this opportunity from the streaming charts. It doesn't really matter. I guess the point I'm really trying to make here is that members can choose whichever way they want. The membership doesn't prevent you from trading whatever type of trades that you want to. Excuse me, I'm burping here a little bit. Whatever type of trade you want to put on. If you're an options trader, great, you can still use the service. If you're a futures trader, great, you can still use the service. It doesn't matter. All right, just like this gentleman. I have no idea how he went about making his profit, but I know for sure he made a lot of money right here because he's saying so, right? Okay. Let's switch back, and I'm gonna change the order a little bit, and we're gonna look at this hourly chart, okay? All right, so here we are on the hourly chart. This is the exact same hourly chart that he posted on the Discord server. I kind of moved this label around because it was in the way. Let me just scoot it out of the way a little bit higher. But it was way down here, okay? It was sitting like down here, but it was interfering with the candlestick, so I just moved it out of the way, okay? Well, you can see clearly that says 1400, which means 2 o'clock. CST time here in Texas, okay? Now, I don't have the Get Us Plus indicator turned on here, so we can turn it on. The purple candlestick is right there, but let's go ahead and turn on the Get Us Plus indicator. Let's Get Us Plus indicator, just right now I'm just not showing it. We'll turn it on, that's great. All right. So you notice previously when we were looking at his screenshot, he put a checkbox like next to this right here, right? This Get Us Plus indicator. Because at that time, this purple candlestick came on at the same time because I have logic to do that with the Get Us Plus indicator. And this indicator is basically saying, hey, it thinks there's a trade there. So he was aware of it, right? He's watching that. He's been with the membership long enough to know. He's asked some questions. Maybe he's watched the membership video, whatever. He's put the pieces together. And he knows that when he sees a Get Us Plus indicator and a purple candlestick, that, this means that there's a possible trade coming on, based on the logic I have for this indicator. So he paid attention, right? And then you got this big, huge candlestick. Now look at this cycle right here. This is the cycle that he's talking about that took place, right? If you don't know about cycle analysis, well, this is basically saying that where these two cycles come together right here, right in this area right down in here, price is expected to decline on the hourly chart, just like it did back here, see? And like it did over here. And I can't see if it did over there or not. It did a little bit right here, not a lot, but a little bit. And then it took off. Okay, so in any case, getting back over to this particular opportunity, he saw the purple candlestick, he saw the Get Us Plus indicator. I don't know exactly when he jumped in, it doesn't matter. At some point in here, he probably went short, either through options or futures. Most likely one of those two. And he took advantage of basically this big, huge candlestick right at 2 o'clock. Look at this candlestick, exactly in the 1400 hour, which is exactly when this was forecasted to pull back. Now, cycle lows don't always happen exactly right on the hour when I have them forecasted, but sometimes they'll happen exactly like this. Other times they might be a little late, like this one ran a little long. This one was right on. Okay, this one was pretty good right on. But you got to be careful not to be too dogmatic. But in this case, it was exactly to the hour. And what was the length of this, or the range of this candlestick? Candlestick was 24.75. Yeah, I'm looking at this number right up here. Let's clear the screen, get all the, look at this, just look at inside this circle here as I hover over the candlestick. 24.75, okay? So we can call it a range of 25. Now I'm going to switch over to a spreadsheet, and we're going to talk about a futures trade here just on one contract. We'll see how much money this made. All right, so here this is a spreadsheet that I put together many years ago already, and some of this is probably outdated, but you can see I got ES down here, which is the one we're concerned with right now. You can see there's VIX on here, and there's some other futures products on here. Okay. But let's just assume for 1 second that this gentleman traded only one contract to the short side. So we'll put -1 here. And we're talking about this E-mini S&P 500, this guy. Okay, you can kind of ignore all the math in here. It's fine. We're just going to skip all that. We're going to go over to, well, how much money was made. I already put in the range, which was approximately 52.87. When it opened. So I didn't take the high of that candlestick that we looked at, I just took the open, and then I took the close. Okay, which would be a pretty good approximation what most traders would trade, the open to the close, right? You're not going to catch the high all the way to the low. That's kind of hard to do. So this is a realistic range, right? So if he just traded one contract, he made $1,050. Okay. If he traded puts, maybe it was different. If he traded 2 or 3 contracts, you just multiply this to be $2,000 or $3,000, right? So it goes without saying, depending on however his position size was, he probably made a lot of money. Okay, let's switch back over to the chart. All right, so here back on the hourly chart, right? Just kind of finishing this up. I mean, this is the advantage, to the service, is that it's really about timing and direction, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're always trying to nail down timing and direction. Okay. So in this case, the service helped out with saying, hey, it thinks there's a trade. Obviously, that trade was going to be to the downside because this was very peaky. And look at this, guys and gals, what's happening right now as the market's about to close here. Intraday's already closed. Futures closes at 4. So we're past 3 o'clock here. And look what's happening here. We got a Giddus Plus indicator that's coming up from the hourly chart. Right? And it's saying it thinks there might be a possible trade here. We got the SMI at the bottom. Is it going to bounce? Well, we'll probably have to wait till the overnight session to see what this does. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. There's some interesting cycle dynamics going on here. We have a small cycle that's going to be going up, but we got this big, huge yellow cycle that's pushing down. Okay, that's supposed to come in at midnight tonight. So I don't know what we're going to get. Maybe we get a little bounce and then another pullback, or it just ignores this yellow cycle altogether because the market's already way down here. But you can see that the MACD over here is starting to go into negative territory. So that the market could see a change in dynamics. Okay, I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait to see how that plays out. I might trade tonight's session. We'll see. Okay, anyway, this should give you a really good feel about what's going on with the membership and how the membership really helps a lot of traders. This is just one gentleman making some really good bank today, and I guarantee there's other members doing pretty well at the same time, okay? Not all of them come onto the Discord server and necessarily share every trade, right? Because they're just doing their thing. All right, let's switch back over to the daily chart. All right, so here we are on the daily chart. We looked at the weekly. Not too much has changed on that. We got 3 down days, but I mean, this doesn't mean anything. right? It's just 3 little down days, 3 little piggies. We've never seen this before, right, guys? We've never seen this kind of action before. Oh, no, sir. This has never happened before. Okay. Right. So, what do you think the odds are? What do you think is gonna happen here? Well, I don't really know for absolute certain what's gonna happen, but if the past is any indication of the future, we're looking at that stuff going that way, right? Which might make some sense. This is what? March 26th. Yeah. The middle of this cycle is April 2nd. Okay, April 14th. Right, so we just continue to watch this. These are really small candlesticks too. It's not even really the number of candlesticks necessarily that are red. It's just really their range. Really small range here. Pullback, it's like nothing. If we were to see, and here we go again, right? This is the if scenario. But if we were to see, let's say tomorrow, which by the way, for members, yes, I have an opinion about tomorrow. Today, by the way, for those that want to know, anyway, let me just finish my first thought. For members, make sure you read your email tonight for tomorrow, because I do have an opinion about tomorrow. But for those that are not members, and just kind of speaking to the general public here, kind of here we go again scenario, right? And that is, if this little pullback were to get below this bottom of this candlestick, this green one, which is 52.33, not that would be unusual, because it has happened before. Like right here, you'll notice this one did it. This red candlestick, the lower wick got a little bit below that one, but it wasn't sustainable and just took off again. So that's the kind of things we're watching for. Anything like that blows below the initiating candlestick here, right? If it blows below it just like a little bit like this one did, and then that doesn't mean anything. But if we get a big red candlestick tomorrow and it drops down like this, okay, and kind of gets down here below 51.81, that would be highly unusual. Like really unusual. Like only other time we saw that like huge was this candlestick way back here. It did that. It kind of dropped down, got below the initial candlestick for the run up. But it turned out to be a lower wick. It rebounded and just took off again. So we would need like continuation, right? We would need a candlestick that first would get below this green one, and then maybe drop below the 51.81 mark, and then sustained itself the next day even. Okay, like a couple really big candlesticks that showed up in here and really broke through the 50, broke below this green candlestick, broke below the 51.81 and kind of sustained it, maybe came down to 50.85. Then we could be like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Because that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. Look, this is January back here. That has not happened, not once. If I saw that kind of activity, then I'd say, hey, okay, hold on a second, there's a change in behavior in the market, okay? So I'm just putting out there, for those that don't really understand, candlestick dynamics and market dynamics, those are the kind of things we'd be looking for to give us at least some kind of hint that the market has a behavior change as far as going from very bullish to at least some sign of weakening, right? And that has not happened. I think it was last week or the week before, looking at the weekly candlesticks, I thought maybe we were seeing something, but it just didn't materialize. Okay, so those are the kind of things you're looking for. That's why you see me always putting these support lines in here. Because I'll know if it breaks below that thing and it breaks below that thing and sustains for a little while, then I'm like, okay, now if it's game on, as far as the market change, having a behavior change. Okay, but until then, we just keep trading long, right? We're buying dips. That's what we're doing. We're buying dips. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. Okay, we're going to look at the 5-minute chart here, which started last night way over here for the futures, and it's about to end. Let's see, we're at 3:30, so it's about another half an hour before futures close over there, okay? I know this is a tiny little chart, but we'll zoom in here about 10:30 last night, somewhere around there. We'll look at this little trade right here, which turned out to be a real winner. Okay, let's do that. You scroll back. Yeah. Okay, so this alert was at 10:35. You can see the little purple candlestick popped up right there. And then about 5-10 minutes later, it made real good and just started taking off. Look at that. Monster mash all the way to London Open. Literally, London Open was at 2:00 a.m. my time. So within a few minutes after London market opened up, it did a big pullback and this is, I talk about this all the time in the London market. London market sometimes it doesn't really get its like a full head of steam, I should say, until like 3 a.m. You notice that 3 a.m. down here, then they start to trade. I mean, they open up at 2 and they pulled back for like a whole hour here and then just start trading again, straight up. But getting back to this trade here that was at like 10:35, this was a really good trade. You just had to wait for it to mature a little bit down here. And once it did its thing, man, that was some serious buku bucks. Right? I mean, this is in 2, so I got to kind of calculate this real quick here. Should be pretty simple. I'm going to say about 85 realistically, somewhere in this area is where you would have got in. And I think realistically you're going to get out somewhere about 92. Okay, that's 7 points, guys. It got a little weak in here and a little weak in here, but, you know, you might have had to jump out a few times. But basically, this is 7 points worth of trading. Really, really nice. Okay, so that was one trade last night that I thought was excellent. And then let's move to the right here. Let's see. The 5-minute chart, we may look at the 15-minute chart here. Because I could tell intraday was once again a chop fest. And it's been like that a lot lately. A lot of London market. Oh, here we go again. Just like I said yesterday, it was the London market session that was the moneymaker. And it was the U.S. domestic market intraday that was total garbage. Except for the 2 o'clock cycle low, which made huge money. Let me get this daily out of there. Okay, that was the 2 o'clock cycle low on the hourly chart that we just looked at earlier in this video. That was the only good thing for the whole day. Look at this nonsense. Nonsense. Nobody's trading that. From 7:30 in the morning when the pullback happens, that's another thing that'll happen. Kind of London market, U.S. Pre-market, you'll see this pullback happen. And then just chop. U.S. market chop for like, look at this. I mean, it literally chopped the entire day until the 2 o'clock cycle low. That's 6 hours, maybe 5 hours of chop. I just don't touch it. It's just not even worth it. I don't trade any of this garbage. This is like a waste of time. So lately, the London market session has been the moneymaker. Unless you hang around till late afternoon and you do get some action sometimes around. And in this case today, it happened at 2 o'clock. Now here on the 15-minute chart, there actually was a signal right here. Look at this sweet little trade. Okay. This was really, really nice. This happened right here at 10 a.m. Now, this is kind of hard to see it. You got to have a little bit of vision here. But this happened. This was still rising. But the market was in full chop mode. And I mean, not surprising, right? Because it's been doing this like a lot lately. Chopping along. But if you're looking at the hourly chart, you know there's an anticipated 2 o'clock cycle low. So you have to be a little brave here. But this would have turned out to be just absolute monster mash, huge profit, right, on this 15-minute chart trade to get in right here. I mean, just look at this thing. This was basically at 52.90 and came all the way down to 52.70. That's 20 points. 20. Okay. Massive. 90 to 70, and it actually came all the way down to 65. So that's really 25 points. Just huge. Yeah, really, really nice. So that was another way to make a lot of money right there, right? And it was just, when you're looking at the 15-minute chart, you got to have, sometimes you got to have a little vision to be able to, see what's going to happen. And the hourly chart, like I showed earlier, should help provide some direction. Now, I'm not saying I would have taken this trade in the middle of all this chop fest. I personally wouldn't have. I just would have waited a little bit closer to the 2 o'clock cycle low and just take advantage of it, like 145 or whatever, when it starts to really pull back. And you can look at the 5-minute chart to help you figure that out, because that also streamed that, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1 hour. That 5-minute chart will begin to give you the hint, oh, things are pulling back. Well, that's when you enter. Okay, and then you got the 5-minute chart helping you with the entry, and the 1 hour chart giving you some confidence about where the cycle low is going to be. And of course, there's nothing prevents you from trading up and out of those cycle lows either. Like you can see what's happening right now, right? If we went to look at the hourly chart, we would notice, well, it's starting to run up. It's like you see here on the 15-minute chart. Nothing prevents you from making that trade. All right, I just wanted to share that because that was also a really good trade right there. Okay, I really showed a lot in this video today. If you want to become a member, there's a discord.com link in the description just below this video. There's some instructions there too, so make sure you read them carefully, okay? But if you want to join, then you can click on that discord.com link. It's going to bring you over to get a server here. Click on server shop, brings you to this page. $8, guys. $7.99 a month. I mean, come on. You saw everything that I showed in this video. I'm still amazed that this membership doesn't have like thousands of people. Amazed. I mean, it's just amazing. It amazes me that people won't go spend $8 a month when they could be making, huge money if you're patient enough and you learn how to use the service and you're not the type of person that wants to try to become a millionaire overnight. A lot of people just have the wrong mentality about trading, but if you're patient enough, you can make a lot of money in the market. I've heard people say that the stock market is gambling. No, it's not. And that gentleman today on the hourly chart that posted it proves it's not. If you're patient and you can time the market and you can get the direction right. It may not happen every time, but you can get it more times right than wrong, and that's how you make money in the market. That's how it works. Okay, for $8, I'm just amazed that this. I don't have like 1,000 members right now. When you do join, you can click on the streaming charts that are down here. Okay, so the 3 streaming charts: the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1 hour. They're here. I'm also streaming gold. Okay, so I do trade gold. Actually had some really big moves last night. I had a member actually tell me today they made money on gold, and they asked me because yesterday when I put out the video, I said, if you're a new member or an existing member and you want to know where the gold stream is, okay, just ask me for the link and I'll give it to him. Well, I had a member ask me that today and I gave it to him. But they traded gold today. I don't know, it doesn't really matter how much they made. They made a few $100, but they traded gold last night because gold had some pretty big moves. Now, they probably have a relatively small retail account, but they did really well. And that's how you start, guys. I talk about this all the time. I used to have a really small retail account. Okay, and I trade the micros, the micro futures. That's all I could trade. Okay, I'd make $100, $75, $200, whatever. That was where I was at for a long time before I started getting into the E-minis. Okay, but now if you join, you get the streaming charts down here, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, 1 hour with the Gittles Plus indicator that I showed today, with the hourly cycles on the hourly chart. Okay, the gold stream has the exact same thing: 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour charts. And yes, I have the cycles on the hourly chart for the gold. Now, gold's a little bit looser. It's a little bit, that product's a little bit, it's not as tight as the S&P 500, so the cycles are a little bit not quite as predictable, but they're still on there. Okay. So for both S&P 500 and gold streaming charts, they send their alerts here and here. So all you gotta do is right click on these channels if you want and can turn notifications on, okay? Really nice, super simple. So you can either watch, stream, and have the alerts on, or you can do one or the other. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Okay. At the end of each day, I put premium symbols, which I just did before I started this video. They're in this channel. You're going to want to look at them. As a matter of fact, I saw the VIX futures in here. So I'm going to look at that once I'm done doing this video, because the VIX has a lot to do with volatility. And we're going to see if the VIX is starting to show signs that the stock market is about to have an issue. If the VIX is going up, the market's going down. So I noticed that today the VIX was on the futures list in these premium symbols. There's a lot of symbols in there. You might want to check it out. I think some of them are worth trading. Okay, occasionally I trade currency. I trade currency futures, but this could even apply to Forex traders. So I haven't traded it lately, but if I do, I put it in there. Okay, the Get Us Only Post channel. This is a read-only channel, but you can go in there and see what's in there. You just can't post anything in there. But that's where I put the link for this video, like I'm doing right now. And I also put I post in there when the emails go out every night to the members. Okay, so you want to check that channel at least once a day, kind of end of the day. Now I'm domestic US, so end of the day for us would be whenever the domestic US market closes, maybe like 3 or 4 hours after it closes. Intraday, you'd want to come and check this channel, okay? So if you're over in Europe or wherever you're at in the world, that should give you an idea when to check it. Okay, my time here is CST time. So you can always check your international clocks and figure it out, okay? And speaking of the nightly email, if you want to get in the nightly email, put your email address in this emails only channel, and you're going to get a daily chart of the S&P 500. On there is the daily cycles, as well as the support and resistance lines that are on there. Okay. And I update those charts, the daily charts and the hourly charts, often, as far as the cycles go. Okay. Yes, I keep track of solar activity, which, by the way, recently I said to members I thought that there was going to be a pretty significant earthquake based on some solar activity that I saw. And sure enough, we had a 6.9 earthquake happen. I think it was out in, where did that happen? There was a 6.4 and 6.9 that happened like within a day of each other. I think one was in Indonesia, and I can't remember where the other one was. Jakarta or something like this. Okay, I can't remember exactly, but it was basically in the South Pacific. Yep, I actually predicted that there was a good chance of an earthquake about 3 days before it happened, and it happened. Okay, so that's why I keep track of that. And for those that are in the know, solar activity can help predict things that happen, not only natural events, but also how it impacts people and even the marketplace. Okay, commodities, futures, stock market. Okay, it does impact it. So I keep track of it. Okay, fixed income. If I'm trading corporate bonds, I'll put them in there. And these two channels right here, this is where just general chat goes on with the members. So just think about this. Everything that's in this rectangle is for $7.99 a month. That's the streaming charts for the S&P 500 in gold, the alerts that go along with it, the premium symbols, the nightly email, me keeping track of solar activity for the members, and chat, which, if you want to do support, you can do support in the member chat if you're looking for support issues. Like if you want me, sometimes occasionally people don't get their emails because Discord forces people to change their handle and affects their email. If that happens, just let me know in either in the member chat or the emails only channel that, hey, I'm not getting my emails, and I'll take care of it. That's a lot going on, guys, for $7.99 a month, okay? Okay, got to talk about the rules. All right, in here is the refund rules, so make sure you read that. There's a disclaimer in there that I'm not a financial advisor, okay? Everything on this server, no matter who's posting it, me or anybody else, is strictly educational purposes only, okay? No financial advice is implied whatsoever. And the same is true for this video I'm putting out right now, all right? You are responsible for your own trading. That's the way it works. Yes, I honestly believe, in my opinion, this service is going to help most people become really good traders, or at least be better than they are right now. And I believe if you're patient, you're going to make some good money, okay? But you still got to pull the trigger, right? You're still the one that's got to make the trades, right? You're responsible for them, okay? Everything else is just me providing a service to help educate people to be better traders, okay? It's not financial advice. And lastly, in there is in the rules is be respectful in the server. Don't post nasty stuff. Don't post any dirty language or try to post nasty links or pictures or anything like that. It's nasty language. I won't tolerate it, okay? And guys, everybody, guys and gals, I'm a conservative, okay? I have make no bones about it. I'm a Christian. This server, my service, it's conservative in nature. Okay. If you're a leftist or a Democrat in the US or whatever, and that's your kind of ideology, that's fine. You can come and be a member. Just don't post your ideological garbage on my server. Because if you do, you're going to get confronted. And if it gets bad enough, I'll kick you and ban you. All right. And make sure you read the refund rules before you start doing some stupid stuff. Okay. So just be respectful on the server is basically what I'm saying when it comes down to. Okay, I like my environment nice and peaceful. Occasionally I get a few jerks that come in here and start to try to do stupid stuff. And I tell everybody up front, if you're respectful and nice, we're going to get along great. If you start spewing garbage and get nasty or putting your political nonsense that's like the leftist junk on my server, oh, heck no. My server, my rules. Okay. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope everybody had an awesome day. There was some decent profit at last night, and both in gold and the S&P 500, and also late in the day intraday there was some opportunity, and I think that's going to continue to happen. There's always going to be opportunity in the markets, guys and gals. So take advantage of the service while you can. All right, this price is a really good price. I don't know how long I'll keep it there, but for now that's what it is. All right, happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.